refused to babysit my sister's kids. Now the whole family says I'm selfish. I used to think saying yes was a sign of love. That being dependable meant I was a good person, a good daughter, a good sister, a good aunt. But lately, I've started to wonder if all it really made me was a doormat. It started small years ago. My sister Hannah had her first baby when I was still in college. She'd call and say things like, "Could you come over for just an hour? I need to run to the store." An hour would turn into 4, and somehow I'd end up doing dishes, folding laundry, rocking a crying baby while she scrolled on her phone. Back then, I told myself she was tired, overwhelmed, doing her best. I admired her, honestly. She was the first to start a family. I was just the little sister who still had time, still had energy, still had room to help. So I kept helping and helping and helping. Over the years, that helping became an expectation. Hannah would barely ask. She'd inform, "Hey, you're free next Saturday, right? We've got a wedding to go to." There was no question mark anymore. I'd cancel plans, miss birthday dinners, even skip a concert once. Tickets I'd bought months in advance because her babysitter fell through and she didn't trust anyone else with her kids. I remember sitting on her couch that night, the faint sound of music from the stadium downtown echoing through the open window, while her kids slept upstairs and my friend sent me videos of the show I'd missed. I told myself I was doing the right thing, that this is what family does. But I didn't realize that sometimes family is just the word people use to make you feel guilty for saying no. So when she called 2 weeks ago, the same cheerful tone, the same assumption, I didn't think much of it at first. "Hey, could you watch the kids next weekend? Mark and I really need a break. We've been so stressed lately." Something in me snapped before I could stop it. I said no, just that. A simple single word. But the silence that followed felt heavier than anything I'd ever said. "Wait, what do you mean no?" She laughed like she thought I was joking. "I mean, I can't," I said quietly. "I have plans." "Plans?" She echoed, her voice sharp. "What plans? You never have plans." That one stung. Not because it wasn't true, but because she knew why it was true. I never had plans because I was always waiting for her to need me. I told her it wasn't personal, that I just needed a weekend for myself, that I was tired. But she didn't want to hear it. Her tone changed. First disbelief, then anger. "Wow, I didn't realize spending time with your niece and nephew was such a burden." Then the kicker. "You know, family helps family, but I guess that doesn't mean much to you anymore." I hung up before I said something I'd regret. My hands were shaking. I just sat there on the edge of my bed, staring at the wall, heart pounding like I'd done something terrible. The guilt came fast, that familiar ache in my chest, like I'd let everyone down. I texted my mom later that night, hoping for some reassurance, but instead, I got more of the same. "Your sister said you refused to help with the kids. That's not like you, sweetheart. Is everything okay?" You know she's been under a lot of stress. And there it was, the invisible weight of responsibility, sliding right back onto my shoulders. I didn't reply. I just lay there in the dark, thinking about all the times I'd said yes, all the moments I'd given up for the sake of keeping the peace. And for what? Not gratitude, not love, just expectation. That night, I realized something that both hurt and freed me at the same time, that sometimes the people who preach family helps family only mean it when you're the one doing the helping. For the first time in years, I went to bed with my phone on silent, no guilt-ridden texts, no emergency calls, just quiet. But I didn't know that saying no once, just once, would change everything, because within days, the whispers started. My mom stopped calling as much. My dad made some pointed comments during dinner about selfish young people these days, and Hannah, she didn't text, not even once. At first, I thought it would blow over, that maybe they'd finally realize I wasn't their built-in babysitter. But I was wrong. The storm hadn't passed. It was just gathering strength, waiting for the right moment to hit. And when it did, I finally saw just how much my family really valued me. I didn't hear from Hannah for a few days after that call. No texts, no calls, no, "Hey, can we talk?" Nothing. At first, it was a relief. I thought maybe she'd cooled off. Maybe she'd realized I wasn't trying to be cruel. I was just tired. But when Sunday rolled around, I got my answer. Not from her, but from my mom. She called right before lunch, her voice carrying that soft, practiced guilt I'd grown up around. "Honey, I heard things got tense with your sister." I sighed, pressing my palm against my forehead. "Mom, I just said I couldn't babysit this weekend, that's all." "I understand," she said, drawing out the word understand in a way that clearly meant she didn't. "But you know how hard things have been for Hannah. 2 kids, full-time job, Mark always working late." I cut her off before she could build her case. "Mom, she's not the only one who's tired. I work too. I have a life."